for sitting down with Amped. We are just so happy to be chatting with you today before you open for All Time Low. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I won't lie, I'm a bit tired. I think that the jet lag is starting to, it's a little bit wonky. Like one day I'll be good and the next day it's kind of a toss up. I think after like a nap and some serious caffeine, I'll be good to go though.
Be bringing that energy that you're signature for.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I don't think there's anyone better to warm the crowd for All Time Low and Mayday today.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the success of your most recent album, Poster Child. How does it feel to have it in the world?
Oh, it feels so weird. I feel like we had been working on that project. Well, it was like the first project really that I had taken a significant amount of time off. I didn't have any touring to worry about. I wasn't like, hurry up and make music. So we really got to like sit and think and figure out how we wanted it to sound sonically and lyrically and all the things. So I think it felt like my baby. And so to me, it feels weird that it's even out. Like I will see people singing some of the songs and I'm like, wait, how do you know that? And I was like, wait, the songs have been out for a while now. But it feels exciting though, because, I've been really wanting to lean more into like the pop rock space. And I also come from country like years ago. And so that album in particular just felt like a culmination of just like me. Right. And so I wasn't really afraid to like test boundaries when it comes to like home videos, which is like more of a country, or Cheap Dopamine, which is more pop. And then of course we've got Goodbye Good Riddance, which is like very up tempo, like Paramore type banger. So it was just fun. It was a really good process. I actually got to write it with Dan Swank, who plays for All Time Low as well. So getting to do that with him, and then now we get to I get to play the songs and he gets to hear them every night. So
it was like a match made in heaven.
Truly.
I will say that the album is very sonically conducive. If I just made up words there, I'm sorry, to the internet. But even though you're kind of treading in both waters, you do them so well that it doesn't sound like you're being pulled back and forth through genres throughout the album. Yeah. My personal favorite, I have to say, is People Pleaser.
Oh my gosh.
I feel, as a people pleaser myself, I feel like you really did write, like, if I was to have a TV show, that would be the soundtrack to it, like the intro, and also the title track, Poster Child. Yes. Do you have any favorites yourself?
Oh man, I mean, it kind of varies. I do love People Pleaser. I feel like we played that one. I really grew to love it during our headline in the US. We played that. It was the second in the set, and just the energy and like the excitement that other people would get from it, I think made me love it even more. It's just fun. It's just a little bop. I love Poster Child. I love Cheap Dopamine. I feel like that song, it feels different than anything that I've put out and released before, but in the way that you said, it's like it feels very like conducive and everything feels like it fits together, even if it's a little bit different. And so that one, and then like Home Videos is really special to me.
Home Videos really like hits your soul, and I'm very excited to hear you perform it tonight. I hope it's on the set list. Oh, okay, I'll take one.
We wanted to warm up the crowd. Okay, we're not trying to get anybody crying a little too much before the sets. We're gonna try to like hype it up, have fun.
You do know Mayday's on after you, correct?
Well, yeah, I know that, but it's like, okay, let me hype it up and then we can go down and then hype it back up. I'll be crying during Mayday set too. So.
Everyone cries during. Yep. If you're not crying during a Mayday set, has Mayday really performed?
You know what? I would probably say no.
Yeah. The album Poster Child is definitely a very personal album. How did you feel writing those things? Did you find it therapeutic? Did you find it, and then putting it out, obviously, that's really vulnerable. How did you find that?
I mean, for me, writing is always like my form of therapy in a way. It's a very strange way of therapy in the sense of I'm basically dishing everything that I've been going through the last few years, and then here you go on a silver platter for everybody to listen to and consume the way that they feel. But with this project, I mean, we had been touring so much like the last 2.5 years, and so when I got home and I actually had a second of stillness, I was like, okay, what are all these things that happened? How am I processing? Can I process this? And there was like a lot of just personal things that had happened within like my career, or people that I worked with, friendship breakups and things like that, which I I say that those are worse than like an actual like breakup. I'm like, to lose a friend is just the worst ever. So just a lot of processing that I wasn't able to do while I was on tour, because when you're on tour, life doesn't feel real. It's like, just go. Every day is exciting. You're getting to meet new people. And so for me to just be still for a few months, I think it just kind of like blurted everything that had been going through out. And I think that's why I feel so connected to this album too, just because it is so personal. But I really love that aspect, and I love being honest. I'm kind of like an open book in that way, and to be able to release a song like Blood on Your Hands or Cheap Dopamine or anything like that, and then have the fans kind of interpret it in their own way, is like the most special thing to me. So if it's a weird thing, you know, it's like a weird like line to kind of balance, but I really do like just love it. I love being able to connect with my fans in that way. I feel like they get me and I get them, and we just usually will cry. That's what we'll cry a lot, but yeah, but it's just like a good little like therapy session, and that's how it felt. So that's why it feels so special to me.
I think because you are so honest and you are so raw and you have kind of found that line, that is why your community, your fans, they come out for you. And I think that was really shown with this album release, and the way that I'm sectioning myself off there, the way that we responded to it, and also seeing it at When We Were Young festival, that was amazing as well.
Thank you.
It was a great performance, incredibly hot performance on that first day.
Oh my gosh, that was probably one of and the air there is so dense. And so I remember, you know, there was one other show that we played, and it was in, I believe it was Brisbane, Australia, when we played for Good Things. It was comparable to that. Like, it was just so brutally hot. The air was so dense. Ricky and I afterwards were like, are we good? I don't know.
If I can find the clip, I will. But you were in direct sunlight at like the highest point of the sun, because it wasn't midday. The highest point was like in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was like 2 p.m. or something like that.
And I was like, can someone get her some water?
When I'm like jumping around like that too, and I just like have the adrenaline going, I forget to drink water too. So I was like, that episode of SpongeBob where he was
exactly
like,
what I was thinking.
Like, that's literally how I felt. That's how I felt. And but that day was so incredible, and like just to even be in that world and trusted enough to perform a set there in the midst of all of these legendary acts. Like tonight, I feel like tonight is that. But it felt really special. So I'm glad you liked it. That makes me feel good.
Do you feel the community, the pop punk community, has really welcomed you with open arms?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, because I feel like, just as a female in this space and music in general, right? I feel like we kind of have a target on our back, as it is. And, I feel like I have cultivated a really amazing community, and the people that have been drawn to my music are all so incredible and amazing. But I won't lie, like I have had the handful of like negativity and like comments and things like that from people who they just don't like me, and that's okay. But yeah, I think for the most part it's been like a really positive experience, and everybody that I've gotten to meet so far has been amazing. So I think that's, the right people will come to you, and the people that aren't for you will find a way to remove themselves. And that's kind of how I've been like feeling, and how I've been trying to remember, like, okay, I'm making music for people who are like me and get me. And if they don't get me, then that's okay.
And I don't mean to be the person who doesn't let you enjoy the success that you are currently riding on with Poster Child. Can we expect anything? What are we building to here? Like, I don't want to say what's next, because I don't want to be like, that wasn't good enough. But like, I love to hear, is there anything you're envisioning for 2026?
Oh man. I mean, I got home from tour, and the first week of the new year, we started kind of chipping away at some things, and I'll say that we've written some songs that are really, really good and really cool. Experimenting a little bit more with just different sounds. And, like I said, I am so many different things. I love rock music. I love early 90s music. I love pop and punk and all of the things. And indie and folk and like the Gracie Abrams side of things. And so I'm really just trying to kind of like tinker around and see what feels good and fresh and just write things that I love. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. We're in the experimental phase, but hopefully new music sooner than later.
Exciting. What are you listening to at the moment? Is there anything on your radar that you really are enjoying?
Dude, I cannot stop listening to Ethel Cain. Have you ever listened to Ethel Cain? Oh my gosh. The other day when we were in Glasgow, I found her like a few years ago, and I'm like really into true crime and like dark stories and things like that. And so I loved the lore of her just in general. I remember I was sitting in our bandwagon while we were on tour, and I was like listening to all of like, I had to know everything about her. I was like, okay, what is the storyline? Preacher's daughter, come on, give it to me. I need to know everything. And I was like forcing it upon all of my band members as well. And they're like, Taylor, we don't, what are you talking about? And I was like, but it's crazy. And she's like, you know, going on road trip, like it's like a whole thing, right? But I've really like the last 2.5 months, I've been like, it's all I can listen to. And like more drone music and things that feel very cinematic, I think I've been really loving. But when we were in Glasgow, we went to go see, I think it's called Pollock Park or something. It's where the Highland cows are.
Okay.
We went to go see Highland cows, and it was so beautiful, and it was just like rolling green hills, and it's like kind of misty and like dark and dreary. But I just like was listening to it in my headphones and like just looking around. It was a very spiritual experience for me, and I was like, maybe I need to move to the UK. I think I would do good here. I think I would do well.
Thank you so much, Taylor, for sitting down with us today at Amped Magazine. Cannot wait to see your set later.
I'm so excited.
And it's so
See
exciting.
for miles and it's all mine, it's all mine.